It wasn't even close. The SB 403 was passed by the California Senate Judiciary Committee 8-0. There were 11 members, 3 did not show up. I don't quite know of the 8 members that voted yes, how many are Democrats and how many are Republicans. We don't know that information yet. I'm sure that will come to light in a little bit while. But what was the takeaway? What really happened? I was watching it for about 2-3 hours. I followed it very closely. If you look at the number of people who expressed their vote in front of the committee, it was 2 no and 1 yes. That means 2/3 were saying no and 1/3 was saying yes. Likewise, I kept track of the people who were calling in to show their vote. It was 34 for against and 21 for. That is, 34 people said no to SB 403, 21 people said yes to SB 403. You can clearly see that in terms of numbers, the no's had the numbers. But then what happened to the vote? The long speeches saying that, well, as much as this, as much as that, at the end of the day, we think that we should proceed. Before you all start getting upset, what happened to democracy? Was this a grave travesty of democracy? Remember one thing, things like this, a first-term senator who's not a Hindu, in fact, the 11 people on the CA Senate committee, none of them are Hindus. Understand some of these things. This is where Hindu Americans lost the plot. We don't have a voice. We don't have people who even understand what Hinduism is about. Even Buddhists don't seem to know a whole lot. There was one Korean American, I don't know whether he is a practicing Buddhist or not, but be that as it may, the point here that I'm trying to say is most of us Hindus are also not very Hindu anymore, right? So this is a long-term problem that we have to solve. But always think about this. Whenever they are trying to move something through a first-term senator with no clue, that means they have their ducks lined up. This is going to pass through and it will go through and pass through Senate also. Why? Because the Senate has 40 members, California Senate, and 32 are Democrats, 8 are Republicans. I mean, Republicans don't even have a chance, guys. California votes so solidly Democrat that this should not come to us as a surprise. What we have are islands of excellence, such as in the Northern California, Silicon Valley, or the Southern California. You have in the LA area, Irvine area, perhaps in San Diego also. Also, some areas of Sacramento where there is Intel and some of the ancillary units. But that's about it. These are the ones who believe in meritocracy, who believe that somebody should get what they deserve, rather than somehow try to find an excuse to say, I have been victimized, I have been this, I have been that. That's not how the real world works. And even if this becomes law across the United States, I bet you sometime, somewhere it will get knocked down, and all those people who voted for it, they will see the backlash. But those are all long-term effects. What can you do today? Only 1% or 2% were aware that there was a bill called SB 403. Again, remember, these are the things that are done in absolute speed. Not much interaction with people. In fact, I remember I told you in my previous, yesterday's video that Aisha Wahab didn't even bother coming to the unity dinner that she had promised to, because she was promised that she is not going to be set aside, that her vote is going to pass. Why? Because the people who gave her the bill to pass, they told her that, look, it's all been taken care of. Now, why do I say this? Well, just look at one person funding the Democratic Party, George Soros. He has pledged 100 million for the 2022 elections, probably more in 2024. But there was an additional 100 plus million that funding was available for special causes, such as this one. I mean, he has already set it aside. I mean, he's telling you. It's not like this is a secret that somebody came and whispered in my ear. No, it's on his website. And I have covered this in a few of my episodes. So we knew what was coming along. But what happened to democracy? 2/3 don't want it, 1/3 wants it, and you still go ahead and vote for the minority? Where is democracy here? And then that begs the question, what right does California, and by extension United States, have to talk about the other democracies? One thing that I've told you again and again, many of these people, they are constantly in election mode. They will take money from any which source. And whenever they are taking big bucks, the only thing they look at it is, how does it affect me as a person, my constituency, my state, and so on and so forth. When all these things don't appear to be in conflict, they just said, okay, fine, I'll do it. Collect the money, thank you very much. And then their coffers are filled. Guess what? They'll go and try to somehow forget about this and still make and try and hope that you, the poor voter, will vote for them again. Well, how can you fight back? Remember all these things. Don't forget. Develop the attitude of an elephantine memory. Don't forget. When it comes to election time, show your vote. Because now the Indian Americans are in considerable numbers that you can actually influence some of the closely run elections. So make your vote count. Don't get angry, get even. And I guarantee you this is not going to stand the test of law. But at the same time, we have to understand why this is being done now, that too in the most populous state of United States, California. This is all to try and prevent Modi from coming back to power, right? But we don't know what's going to happen or not, whether these people are going to succeed or not, we don't know. However, we have to hope that at least for ourselves, we now know how to fight this thing. Make sure that every one of you in your groups is completely educated about what happened here. And make sure that they remember that it is their children's future that is in danger. By the way, I'm going to give you one more video after this that shows you all the work that happened and also a partial view of how the vote went down. So you can take a look at that also. But more importantly, the takeaway here is don't get upset, don't get angry, get even. And we will know how to do this thing in the days and weeks to come. Just wait for some time. Let it go. This is all for the 2024 elections in India because somebody is scared that if Modi comes back the third time, a lot of the other things that are happening in India will change. Thank you. Namaskar. Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Even as I'm talking to you, you can see the scenes behind me or beside me, I should say. This is the people who are protesting against the bill SB 403. So you can see here the lines are long. The hearings have started inside. There are lots of people inside, and I think as people finish their submissions and come out, I think more and more people will be allowed to go in. And this is going to go on till, I believe, another 1.5 hours or so. And so a lot of people are going to have their say as to why they oppose SB 403 as opposed to why they are for SB 403. Both sides have really dug in, and we can see that there is a fair amount of jostling, hushing, sloganeering going on, and I'll be bringing you more videos as we go along here, so just stay tuned. Here what we are seeing was early in the morning when lines were coming up. You can see some of the luminaries from the other side, and let me bring in another volunteer here who's going to be telling us things as they're happening right now.
So good morning, Sri Iyer Garu. Thank you so much to your channel once again. Things I can say that it was quite noisy in the morning, but right now they are letting people inside. There's heavy security and police staff here. All the Judiciary Committee has just gotten. We have tons of supporters here who are to oppose this bill. We have our supporters from Dalits and Bahujan Party as well to say no to SB 403. We have our supporters here from since morning 3 o'clock. We've been here asking to oppose this bill and stop this atrocious and dangerous and horrific bill that is being pushed upon the Hindu community. There are many Hindus across Bay Area. People have also flown in from LA LA, and many supporters from Sacramento as well. We have children from school and colleges who have come here to oppose this bill, because kids truly feel threatened if this bill is passed, that they will be targeted, profiled to hate and bullying and so on. This kind of bill being passed is definitely not something that Hindu community should accept with ease. As you see that there are more lies than facts, and this bill is based on tons of fabricated lies. So there are also supporters who are trying to say yes to the bill, and you know who these are. They're very much anti-India elements as well as anti-Hindu. There's a heavy Hindu hate that has been brewing for many years here in US, and it's very unfortunate that US Hindu community has been one of the most law-abiding community who has always ensured that we follow the rules and regulations of this community. So we have supporters from all kinds of Hindu organizations. Individuals are here to say no to this bill. We must make sure that this bill gets scrapped out from this judiciary meeting. I have no words to say because we are just running through so many emotions at this point of time. They've made handmade posters.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Please continue.
Shri Ayerji. We are having network issues here.
Right.
So I think it's getting disconnected. I'm unable to hear you once again, but I'll continue, kind of doing the coverage to show. So here we are. We have tons of families here. We have women. We have working people. We have doctors, engineers, and they've all come here from a faraway distance. There's a lot of planning that went in. There's a lot of discussions that went in.
We have more scenes from the area, and you can see that many are waiting to get in. So the way this process works is some are allowed inside. This is a small hall, and those who have had their say, have their as to whether they are saying yes or no to SB 403, are asked to leave so that other people can enter the hall and make their point of view. So this is going to go on for another 1 or 2 hours, and you can see here the crowd is quite substantial. People have come from many areas of California, including from Southern California, LA, which is 400 miles, so 350 miles, approximately 500 to 600 kilometers distance, 8 hours one way. So you can see that this bill has become very important because it affects the entire state of California. The state of California will be affected if this thing gets passed. So there is a fair amount of concern on how and why they are doing this. You're seeing people registering their vote, sort of, yes or no, and you're seeing the posters. Just gives you a feel for what is happening. I don't think this is really the vote election. The Senate, they're also getting a lot of emails. They also got a lot of phone calls. So there's a whole bunch of things that have happened. So this is a last phase of listening to what people are having their say. But interestingly enough, you're seeing a fair amount of people registering a yes also. We don't know what kind of message they have been told. We are also finding out that many people don't even know what they are voting for, yes or no. So how much of seriousness can be attached to this also is a thing that is in question. The fact remains that people don't really know what they are doing. I'm even not sure if the CA Judiciary Committee members themselves know what are the significances of this, and in rushing through this way is not the way to go. It needs to have multiple hearings, multiple deliberate considerations. People have to have their say as to why this is wrong or right, and that part is not happening here. Everything is being rushed through, which is what is of concern to many. So this is what is happening. And again, some have posters. I think these posters could be recycled, I guess. So that could also happen. You're supposed to state your name and then register your vote. However, I don't know how, if the same person chooses a different name and registers a vote, whether they are going to be able to capture it or not. I mean, clearly nobody has time to note this yes or no. The only thing they are probably recording is a yes or no. Even children are now participating in this vote. And so there is a fair amount of seriousness. They realize that something like this can be very detrimental to their future, and that is something that is should be thought through here. And ramrodding this stuff, pushing it down the throats of people, is just not right, in my opinion. And here are more scenes. You can see this is. And you can see here State Senator Aisha Wahab confabulating with Tamilisai Soundararajan. Interestingly, nobody sees her. She doesn't seem to want to talk to the other people in the audience, which is very strange.
Hi.
So this is a long line of people waiting to get in and have their say. Certainly, many have come here. Like I said, people have come from many cities. That's the entrance. Fair amount of police presence too.
Nice. Our boards are the most prominent one here.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, those are all the scenes we captured for you. Let me see how this is going. The one feed that we had inside the judiciary room seems to have frozen now, but you get the idea, viewers. And like I said, we will know the result in a few hours, and we will be sure to capture that also as part of this capsule. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.